welcome back to the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is your usual suspect. Welcome back from the Premier League action that has seen quite a number of surprising results, at least as per our own predictions, based on what we had previewed earlier on in the morning for match day 36 of the Premier League. But allow me to do the honors of testing our audience before we get into that conversation, because there has been a significant result involving Man City, who are in a pursuit for a top 4 finish, or a top 5 finish, sorry, in as far as the Premier League is concerned. So there's a very interesting result there, and one that I would comfortably say that nobody possibly saw coming. I didn't see it coming, and I'm sure many out there didn't see it coming. Maybe somebody else did, but I think it's safe to say that majority of us did not see it coming. The majority of us did not see it coming. So I'm waiting for you guys to join the broadcast. Once you join us, do not forget to like the broadcast, comment, let us know where you're joining us from, and let's engage. But kickoff for Aston Villa does come underway in just a couple of minutes time, in a few minutes time. So that action is equally getting underway. I can see Sevilla are here on the losing end in their game against Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo leading that game by 3-1. While in the Italian Serie A, there's some interesting news, including Como having beaten up against Cagliari by 3-1. Remember, we spoke about Como earlier on in the day in relation to Francesco Sola Fabregas, who is being targeted by Leverkusen as their next manager. So that conversation is also there. But I must say, very surprising result. Manchester City 0, Southampton 0 at the St. Mary's Stadium. If Southampton had only kept one single clean sheet in their last 48 Premier League games, and yet guess who they decided to get their second Premier League clean sheet against Man City of all teams. Never mind that Southampton were at home. That goes without saying. But I mean, Man City tried everything within their reach to try and secure a victory, but it just didn't fall through for them, including hitting the crossbar. I think it was Omar Mamouche. So they did everything, but the day wasn't just on their side. So it finished goalless between Manchester City and Southampton. Quite a very significant result in the pursuit for a top 5 finish there, because everybody thought that they would go and win at Southampton, and then, you know, kind of pile more pressure on Arsenal in second place. And like we had spoken earlier on in the day, is that they would win their game. At least that was our expectation, that they would win their game and then go and remain in third place with just a goal difference separating them between them and Arsenal, who are in second place. But that draw means that they are now at 65 points, 2 behind Arsenal, and that means that they stay third on the Premier League log. But more scaring for them, if you're Man City or you're a Man City fan, I do know my friend Duncan is a Man City fan, is that Newcastle and Chelsea have a date tomorrow, and should either one of those win, even though I predicted that theirs will also end in a 2-all draw, should either one of those win, then they will get to leapfrog Man City. Anyways, for those of you that are just joining us on the broadcast, kindly consider liking the broadcast, kindly consider subscribing if you're new here. Much appreciated for the love and support. But welcome to the Football Tribe UG channel. Do let me know where you're joining us from, where you're tuning in from, what country are you from, are you a football fan, what club do you support, anywhere it may be from across the world. Do let me know where you're joining us from. But for starters, like the broadcast and also consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be much obliged if you do. I can see Alona Edits says hi. Hi, Alona Edits. If your profile picture is anything to go by, are you an Arsenal fan? Is because that's what I could be. I could be reading it wrong, but it appears you're an Arsenal fan from your display picture. Is that the case? Do let me know. But if you're new here, which seems you seem to be new here. I've not seen you here before, but much appreciated for having you here. So, and thank you for joining us. So, like I was saying, should either of Chelsea and Newcastle win tomorrow, because they do have the early kickoff at 2 p.m. East African time, should either of those win, the will leapfrog Man City and then go to 66 points, because both teams have 63 points. So whoever wins that game would go above Man City. Anyways, in the other results that we did see only, Brentford beat up against Ipswich Town by goal to nil. Our prediction had been a 2-0 victory for Brentford, but still, it's a victory, a 1-0 victory. The goal scorer there being Kevin Shedd, who scored the only goal of the game that turned out to be the match winner. And then we got this one wrong in our predictions, but Brighton did beat up against Wolverhampton Wanderers by 2-0. Yankuba Minte scored a goal, but that was cancelled out by VAR. It was cancelled out, Yankuba Minte. Then, just 5 minutes later, they won a penalty which was converted by Danny Welbeck before Gruda scored in the 85th minute with just 5 minutes of normal time left to play to secure that 2-0 victory for Fabian Hartzler's side to win it 2-0 for Brighton. Then the other surprising result, at least as per our prediction, is the victory for Everton against Fulham. My expectation had been that maybe Fulham would hold out Everton and see them to a 1-1 draw, maybe. But Everton have powered that one. Of course, the hosts, that's Fulham, got into the early lead in around the 17th minute. Raul Jimenez scoring that goal with Emily Smith-Rowe providing the assist. But in the added time of the first half, that's around the 48th minute, Nyakalenko scored the equalizer to make sure it was 1-1 at halftime, thanks to an Abdoulaye Diakore, assist. Who Abdoulaye Diakore is destined to leave Everton unless they do offer him a new contract. I can see Call of Duty Irene says hi. Hi, Call of Duty. Thank you for joining us on today's broadcast. If you're new here, kindly consider liking the broadcast. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be very glad or very appreciative if you do me that honorable gesture of subscribing to the channel. But thank you for joining us from wherever it is you're joining us. If you do not mind, please let us know where you're joining us from. What country are you tuning in from? And then, like I said, in the second half, another defender in Michael. Oh, based on your flag, is that the US flag, USA flag, or it's the Liberia flag? When it's so small, the two flags tend to have some similarities. But I'm going to go on a wild guess and say that's the US flag. Is that the case? If it is the US flag, please let us know what state of the United States are you joining us from? Are you from the Midwest? Are you from the East Coast, West Coast? Are you from Alaska? Just joking, just joking. Not that someone from Alaska wouldn't be joining us, but I know Alaska is the farthest of points that there is as far as US is concerned. I can see Canal says hi. Hi, Canal. Buwan Canal. Hi, thank you for joining us. Kindly consider liking the broadcast and subscribing to the channel if you're new here. But thank you for joining us. Canal, are you okay? I don't want to guess, but your name is sort of synonymous with names from around the Asian side, should I say? Maybe. Anyway, I won't predict, but do let us know where you're joining us from, and thank you for being with us. So, that was Michael Keane scored the other goal in the 70th minute to make it 2-1. in favor of Everton, thanks to Dwight McNeil providing the assist there, while Beto scored 3 minutes later, thanks to Alcaraz's assist to make it 3-1, and eventually the game ended in a 3-1 victory for that. Excuse me. The game ended in a 3-1 victory for the visitors of Everton. And here is what those results mean for the Premier League table as far as things go. Like I said, the top three did not change because Man City were held to a goalless draw at Southampton, and Newcastle and Chelsea are waiting to play, so those are unchanged. Nottingham Forest will be in action tomorrow against Leicester City, so that as basically the top 7 have not changed, but I can see Brentford following that victory are on 55 points. Brighton with that victory against Wolves, winning 2-0 at 55 points equally, occupying 8th and 9th place respectively. FC Bournemouth are in action in just a couple of minutes from now, because they do face off with Aston Villa. That game kickoff is already underway. So I will be reading you the team sheets in as far as that fixture is concerned. But then in Southampton holding Man City to that goalless draw, they've avoided having the lowest point tally of a relegated team with Derby County, because Derby County had the lowest tally of points, 11, when they got relegated by the finish of the season. Now with that draw, it took them to 12 points, so it means they do not have the lowest tally in as far as history is concerned. So quickly, before I let you guys go to enjoy your that game between excuse me, that game between Aston Villa and Bournemouth. Here are the starting lineups from both teams, or the look of things in regards to what both teams have fielded. I can see kickoff is right there. Apologies, I'm having an issue, but yeah, game has kicked off. We're in the first minute, but here are the starting lineups. For those of you that care to know, Bournemouth do have Kepa Arrizabalaga, Adam Smith, Zabani, Dinhausen, Milos Kakez. That's for the defense and goalkeeping place. Lewis Cook, Tyler Adams, Marcus Tavernier, Alex Scott, Antoine Semenyo, as well as Evan Nelson. While Aston Villa do have Emiliano Martinez, Lucas Digne, Tyrone Mings, Enzri Konsa, Mati Cash, Bobaka Kamara, Amadou Onana in that double pivot. And then ahead of them is Marco Asensio, Morgan Rogers, Jacob Ramsey, and Oli Watkins. Now, Jacob Ramsey is a player, Morgan Rogers is a player attracting a lot of interest from the likes of Newcastle, from the likes of Arsenal. Chelsea have also been mentioned in that conversation. Some sources say that he would cost about £70 million, while others put him as high as £90 million. So we'll wait to see how that, transpires or fares out. But that's the expectation. For the bench for the Aston Villa side, they do have Robin Olsen, they have Axel Disasi, Paul Torres, Andres Garcia, Ian Madsen, Ross Barkley, John McGinn, Leon Riley, and Daniel Malin. On the side of AFC Bournemouth, they do have Daniel Jebson, they do have Justin Kluivert, Ben Winterburn, David Brooks, James Hill, Julian Araujo, Julio Sola, Marcos Senesi, and Will Dennis. That's for their benches. Of course, Marcus Rashford is out injured, while Yuri Tillemans has a muscle injury, so he does miss this particular fixture. While Ryan Christie, Ouattara, Yunal, some of those injured for that AFC Bournemouth side. But thank you so much, guys, for those that have been able to be with us. Do not forget, we spoke about this much earlier in the day, but Arsenal have agreed a deal with Real Sociedad to sign Martin Zubimendi for £51 million. That's about 60 million euros. Thereabout, so it could be the first signing in the Andrea Beta era. So That has been one of the biggest news making the rounds, but we'll keep you updated with that and much more. For now, allow me to let you go enjoy that game between Aston Villa and Bournemouth, and I'll see you next time. Otherwise, stay blessed for now. Bye-bye.